Okay, Alabama finally went down, got that second loss, and ended the season. But man, it's almost like it was a one-man wrecking crew. Seth, Seth McLaughlin, he can almost take personal responsibility for this ball game. How can one man have made so many mistakes at the right time? The opening series and the closing series. Big mistakes. And you could say that's why Bama went down. I don't think I've ever seen an Alabama team so ill prepared for a big moment. Alabama did not look like Alabama in this ball game. And the O-line played horrendous. Yes, you can blame Seth McLaughlin, but there were there's plenty of blame to go around. Milrose, as a play caller or as a signal caller, quarterback, certainly gave them very little. Occasionally managed some long runs to get first downs, but Michigan hadn't contained. We're going to let him beat them, and he certainly did not. You got to give Michigan credit for winning this game. I thought they played extremely well. I thought they outcoached Alabama in every way. But despite all that, it still came down to the nitty-gritty little things, as ball games always do. But we could talk about that game for a long time, but it's over, and Bama has lost. How does Michigan stack up against Washington? We'll take a look at that later on. That game could be very interesting if Michigan can put the same kind of pressure against Washington as they did against Alabama. But again, it may have just been an Alabama thing on that particular day. So as Georgia fans, how do we actually feel coming into the couple days as I make this episode before the Monday night's game with Washington and Michigan? How do Georgia fans feel about that game? Are we still in the mood to boycott the darn thing and not watch? I don't know. Personally, I've already had my piece. Alabama is not in it. I felt like they shouldn't have been. So I'm no longer angry. I'll watch the game just to watch a football game. It's the last one we'll have for a while. I think it might be a good football game. I really think that Washington's going to win this one. I believe Michigan has a good defense. I think that Washington has been the sleeping giant all along. I think this team has, they're going to give Michigan all they can handle. And I'd say Washington would win this game straight up. I don't know about the spread or all that. I don't really care. Now, as Georgia fans and anybody else who's listening, because as college football fans, we have to kind of look at the sport and say, what's really going on? I mean, all these players transferring. 9 players from Alabama's team transferred practically before they got on the bus to go home. Georgia was hit hard with transfers. Ohio State was hit hard. But it seems like it's going to be very difficult to have any kind of stable lineups unless something happens and changes the way it's structured. The way it's structured right now it could actually be detrimental to the sport, detrimental to the fans. But we have to live in the moment. And in the moment, Georgia Bulldogs won their last game. Alabama did not. And there's a little fun game to watch between Michigan and Washington. And I'm kind of hoping that Washington can win it. And I just have my reasons, and you can have your own.